Hi, I'm Laura, and this video is going to go over the entire unit for the spiders and webs for the coordinators. For the resource box, you'll be able to find the outline, all of the centers, the puppet show along with the puppets. There should also be a timer, the name tags that you can use, and other important resources. There is also a printed intro for the slideshow, and if you haven't used the slideshow in the past, you can find that either on the ELF website or you can ask the teachers for access to that on their computers. For the puppet show, you'll have these characters. It's about spiders, and you'll need 3 to 4 volunteers who can run the puppet show and act out those characters. For Center 1, the focus is going to be on examining a variety of spiders, and we'll have a bunch of different hands-on resources the kids can use, like real-life spiders that are going to be in resin, and then as they're examining the spiders, they're going to compare and contrast an insect to a spider. So you want to have them really examine closely what they see. For that, we have a bunch of printed and laminated resources, and then they'll be able to complete a Venn diagram in their center where they're going to use these little laminated circles and place them where they go, as far as is it an insect or is it specific to a spider, and then what do they have in common. This is an opportunity where parents or volunteers can bring in real life spiders if they would like to. Just ask them to do it in a humane way where the spiders can live happily, and maybe put a stick and a wet cotton ball into the jar, and then afterwards release them back into the wild. In Center 1, it's definitely a good place to remind volunteers that some kids might be scared of spiders, and if they don't want to touch or hold any of the objects, or if you do have a volunteer bring in a live spider, they do not need to. But you can also discuss how learning about things that you're scared of can be really helpful, and how some of the things that we see as scary about spiders actually have been what's helped protect them. So one of the great things about spiders is that they help control insect populations. So even though they might be scared of the spiders, they can appreciate what they do for our overall environment. For Center 2, this is going to really be about exploring the different types of webs that spiders can make. So we'll have 3 examples of spider webs, and you can go through the descriptions of them. We have, everything will be labeled. We have the trapdoor funnel spider, and this one can be an example of kind of 2 spiders, but you have your little fake spider on a stick, and you can go through examples of how the spiders come out of their specific webs. After you've gone through and explained the different webs and looked at the visual examples of the webs and the resources, then you could let the kids experiment with the different types of bugs in the webs. Center 3 is going to give the kids a chance to explore spider sensations. So there's a variety of different demonstrations. There are a few more kind of setup parts for this station. So you're going to have some tape that they're going to use to experience how sticky the feet of a spider feels, and some oil and wax paper, some sugar cubes that you're going to melt in a plastic cup to represent what happens to the inside of insects demonstration, and then this game that they're able to play where you're going to stretch out the strings with the students, and you want to keep it really tight. A student who is in the middle, who has their hand on it, holding it, and they're going to be blindfolded, and they are representing the spider in the middle of the web, and they're going to try to sense and feel where the vibration is of another student who is pulling a string. And so all of these different demonstrations the kids will be able to do will demonstrate all the sensations a spider will have. Center 4 is going to be our outdoor center. This one is a scavenger hunt, and then depending on the weather, there are coats that you can utilize in the ELF closet if it's extra cold. Before you start the scavenger hunt, there are some visual examples that you can use to explore what types of spider webs you can find. If the weather is really bad or rainy, there's also pictures that might be useful For the younger kids, there's a picture one where they can take the board and check things off as they go. Or for the older kids, it's very similar, but it's more of a list, and they can check things off as they find them. If it's really challenging to find spider webs, you can just explore and have fun with it and have the kids outside and talk about where they could be, even if they aren't able to find them. It's really important for coordinators to make sure that you're closing any gates, don't prop anything open, including the outside doors, don't prop those open, and make sure to remind your volunteers not to prop doors open. Center 5 is a craft where the kids get to make a cute little spider, and all of the resources will be in the bin. For younger kids, you probably want to tell your volunteers to do some of the cutting ahead of time, either cutting the straws or the pipe cleaners. There's a template for the circles. It's okay if they cut extra because the next groups will be able to use them too. For the older kids, if they want to cut them themselves, they can. And they'll just get to have some fun gluing on the 8 little eyes and using all the information that they gathered from the other stations and make a fun little craft to take home. As a closing for this unit, you can use a few of the songs that will be in the slideshow if you want to. Another idea to up the game of your sharing circle is there will be a ball of yarn, and as students are sharing different unique things they learned about spiders, they can pass the yarn from student to student, and then through them passing the yarn in the group, they'll actually create a large messy web. Any resources you notice are running low in the bins, please make sure that you reach out to us to let us know. And if you're needing more specifics about any of the centers, remember that there's a video that goes over more detailed specifics to walk your volunteers through whatever center that they are going to be leading. And if you need to get a hold of those to understand the centers better, you can always access those on the website as well.